All right, have a seat, settle down, settle down. All right, coming to the stage, this lady plays clubs and colleges all over the country. Funny as hell. Give it up from Studio City, California. Come on, get up. Give it up. Let's hear it from Miss Jen Murphy. Jen Murphy, y'all. Give it up for the hilarious Jen Murphy.
I need more. What's up? How's it going? So happy to be here. So happy to be here. Can you tell I'm single by the way I was chasing him? I was like, no, it's been a really long time. I need it. No? That's my new pickup line. What do you think? I'm working on it. You think it's good? No? You guys are looking at me like, don't do it. You're making a fool of yourself. I'm really bad at talking to men. So now if I see somebody I like at a bar, instead of trying to talk to him, I just look at him across the bars. They'll either be like, this girl's really into me, or she's having a stroke. I'm not sure what's going on. I've been alone for like 2 years. It's gotten to a point where it's like every guy I pass on the street like suddenly has potential. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what? Oh, well, he's walking. That's a good sign. No? I don't know. His eyes are open. No? Okay. I'm in my mid-40s, guys. It's a little scary. It's a little scary. No, it's okay. I know, I made it. I did make it this far. I'm surprised, too. It's just, I don't know, I'm getting older, so it's like, sometimes I get a little nervous, like, to show this to somebody new. You know what I mean? I'm like, looks a little different than it used to. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Like, it's not horrible. I mean, it's still on the inside. Oh, thank you. Thank you. My vagina thanks you. It's just I never realized that like I'd hit a certain age or for some reason my genitals would just start getting a tan. Like, I'm just like, is it a little darker than it used to be? I don't think it, okay, white girl problems, white girl problems. Touché. I feel that now that I'm getting older, I feel like sports have just become like my porn. I'm like obsessed with watching sports. I love sports bars. Like I love watching men eat. Is that a weird thing? I love going to sports bars and just watching men just like shove burgers in their mouth. I'm just like, yeah, do it. Nothing? Are you still hungry? No? Okay. I love football. I like Aaron Rodgers. Don't judge me. He's hot. I know. Everybody's like, I feel like they're trying to make football sexier these days. I'll tell you why, because I noticed that they started putting stuff in slow motion that like doesn't need to be in slow motion. Like I was watching AR, that's what I call him, we're close. I was watching Aaron Rodgers and he was just about to get the ball hiked to him, right? And it's playing in like completely normal. And then all of a sudden it just switched to slow motion like for no reason. Right when he was just like, I was like, oh my God, what are they doing? Like, do they know it's Naked Sundays at my house? Like, what is happening? I just like bent over and like backed up to my television. I'm just like, AR! Like, Omaha! No? Okay. Thank you. It's awkward if you don't laugh while I'm bent over. I babysit, by the way, if anybody has kids. You could use, I do some part-time babysitting. If you, no? Okay. I do babysit. I won't babysit any kid that's like 3 years old and still in diapers, though. That shit's creepy. Right? Because they talk to me. Like, I'll be changing this kid's diaper, and he's like, you missed a spot. I'm like, oh. He's like, front to back, bitch. I'm like, I know. Sorry, you're not a kid crowd? What are you? You dog people? You guys dog people? I don't give a shit about your dogs. I'm sick of dogs, and I'm not afraid to say it. It's not the dog's fault. It just makes me angry that they're like so important now. Dogs are like the top of the right. I love cows. You all probably ate one today. Nobody cares. When it comes to dogs, it's like, oh. Like, maybe it's just because I live in Los Angeles. I could literally like kick a homeless person and nobody would care. But if I plucked one hair out of their dog, they'd be like, oh, send this bitch back to the county jail where she belongs. I just think if we're gonna treat dogs at the same level as humans, they should be held to the same etiquette as humans. Like if I come to your house and you have some big, huge dog that like jumps up and like mauls me, and you're like, oh, that's so cute, he just likes you. I'm like, really? Would that be okay if your husband did that? Like, why do I have to be molested by this creature just because he's cute and hairy? I found out, I moved recently, and like, I live in an apartment. I don't know if you guys are house people, but us apartment people, we have to share walls with strangers. But it only took me a little while to realize that the wall I share with my neighbor, Doug, good-looking guy, Doug, but I found out the thinnest part of the wall that we share is my bathroom, which connects to his living room. And I found this out because one day I'm going to the bathroom and I hear Doug having like a full-on phone conversation. And I'm just like, oh my God, if I can hear everything he's saying, what must he be able to hear like from me on the other side of the wall? I'm just sitting there in my bathroom, suddenly I became totally paranoid. I'm just like, oh no. Ever since then, every time I go to the bathroom, I just like slam cupboards, just like, oh, I'm just looking for that extra roll of toilet paper. Nothing going on here. But then one day, I heard Doug having sex. And I'm sitting on the toilet, and you know when you hear somebody having sex, it's kind of exciting, right? You're like, oh, somebody's having sex. It's like, oh, what should I do? Like, my pants are already down, I don't know, maybe. We've all thought about it. But I just sat there because I'm like, well, I don't want to like flush the toilet. Like, I don't want to ruin Doug's good time. You know what I mean? Like flushes. So I just sat there waiting. I'm like, oh, now it's just become a game of like, who's going to drop their load first? You're all right to have that reaction. That was disgusting. And I really appreciate you as a crowd that you're like, we don't give a fuck that you're taping this. That was weird. And now we all feel awkward. You guys are fun. I traveled a lot. I travel a lot doing stand-up. And the last time I was flying, they lost my baggage. They lost a couple of people's baggage. But like a couple of people were getting so pissed off, like yelling at the TSA agents. And I'm like, it's not their fault. You know what I mean? I'm just surprised it doesn't happen like all the time. Because I get to the airport early, and I watch these guys out on the tarmac, right? And they have all that luggage coming down that console, and they got to figure out where it's all being transferred to. You know what I mean? They're out there in the heat. Like, it just takes one guy, like, having a really bad day, and he sees this, like, family's luggage coming down with, like, golf clubs and everything. It's like going to Hawaii, and he's just like, not today, bitch. You're going to Durham. Those are the only dogs I do feel sorry for, are those drug-sniffing canines at the airport. Because they act like those dogs like wanted that job. Right? They're like, oh, yes, this dog signed up to work for the military. It's like, no. I think you took those dogs, you got them hooked on cocaine or meth or whatever, and then you sent them out looking for more. Because they're always just running around the airport, just like shaking and jonesing. And why are they so skinny? They're like, we need it. And then as soon as they get close to a bag that they think might have some, and you see them like, and then the trainer just yanks them away, and they're like, ah, I need it. Doesn't take much. The guy laughed at me. I'm like, okay. I'm just kidding. Not that easy. It's hot in here. I'm sweating. I talk about getting older. I don't think I'm that old. I'm in the middle. 40's in the middle, hopefully. I feel like I'm getting to that age where like I start realizing stuff about my childhood. Like I'll just be driving down the freeway, right? And like random thoughts like pop in my head. Because I think there's some memories that take like 20 or 30 years, right? And then all of a sudden you're just like, oh. Like that's what that was. Like, I just recently realized that, like, the Vaseline on the back of my parents' bed was not meant for my lips. If you're disgusted, that is the proper reaction. I used to go in there every day before elementary school and just be like, oh, I'm just gonna gloss it up. And then one day I was just like, why is there a hair in my Vaseline? I'm not getting a date after this show. Is it my armpit? Seems like a nice neighborhood we're in. Isn't this a nice neighborhood? I travel a lot, and I feel like I can tell when I'm in a bad neighborhood by how many grown men I see at the local mini mart riding bikes in the parking lot. I pulled into this AM/PM recently where there's this like 40-year-old dude like on a BMX that's like way too small for him. You know what I mean? Just like cruising around, doing circles in the parking lot. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try the Chevron. You know it's especially bad when he's followed up like a guy in a wheelchair, but who doesn't even really need to be in a wheelchair. He just has that one leg kicking out, just like. These guys are both shaking their head, and that's wrong. He's not really handicapped. It's okay. I like you guys. You're a very honest, sensitive crowd. You have feelings and empathy. This has been so much fun. My name's Jen Murphy. Thank you.
This has been a Funny Media Group production.